भगवते वासुदेवाय। ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत्। नष्टप्रायेषु भद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवती उत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिकी। ॐ ज्ञानतिमिरन्दस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। मूकं करोति वाचालं पङ्गुं लङ्घयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमं वन्दे श्रीगुरुं दिनतारिणं परमानन्दमाधवं श्रीचैतन्येश्वरम्। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्यैव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। श्री चैतन्य मनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूप गदा मह्यं ददाति स्वापदान्तिकम्। रूप गोस्वामी रूपादि की जय, रूपादि की जय, गौर भक्तवृंद की जय। Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Lord Krishna's appearance as we are approaching Sri Krishna Janmashtami. It has been beautifully described by Sukadeva Goswami in Srimad Bhagavatam about the Lord's appearance, how Lord Vasudeva, Sri Vasudeva, Lord Krishna's father, so तम अद्भुतम बालकम अंबुजेक्षणम चतुर्भुजम शंख गदादि उदायुधम श्रीवत्सलक्ष्मम गलसोवि कौस्तुभम पीतांबरम चंद्र पयोद सौभगम महार्ह वैडूर्य किरीट कुंडल त्रिषा परिस्वक्त सहस्र कुंडलम उद्दाम कांची अंगद कंकणादिवीर विरोचमानम वासुदेव ऐक्षत। Vasudeva saw the newborn child who had very wonderful lotus-like eyes, who bore in his four hands the four weapons Shankha, Chakra, Gada, Padma. On his chest was the mark of Srivasa, on his neck the brilliant Kaustubha, dressed in yellow, his body blackish like a dense cloud, his scattered hair fully grown, and his helmet and earrings sparkling uncommonly with valuable gem Vaiduria. The child, decorated with a brilliant belt, armlets, bangles, and other ornaments, appeared very wonderful. So, beautiful description of how Lord Krishna he entered into the Vasudeva's heart, mind, and then he transferred himself into Devaki's mind and heart, and then Lord Krishna appeared as in four-handed form. Sometimes Lord Krishna appears as two hands and sometimes four hands. स्रवसो कुवलयम् अक्ष्णो रञ्जनम् बुरसो महेन्द्रमणिधाम वृन्दावन रमणीनाम् मन्दनम् अखिलम् हरिर्जयति. Lord Sri Krishna is just like a bluish lotus flower for ears, his ointment for the eyes, a necklace of Indranila gems for the chest, and universal ornaments for the gopi damsels of Vrindavana. Let that Lord Sri Hari Krishna be glorified. So, in this very beautiful description of the Lord has been given. Now we will read the birthday pastimes of the Supreme Lord Sri Krishna. A wonderful narration. So you'll see that throughout this pastime, all the court, especially Nanda and Yashoda and all of them want to serve the court boys, want to serve the cows and calves, want to serve the elderly gopis. Basically, pretty much every citizen of the Vrindavan, they want to serve very nicely on this celebration of birthday of Lord Krishna. And this is from Ananda Vrindavan Champu. Ananda Vrindavan Champu. One year, Nanda Maharaj organized a grand festival, Nandotsav, to celebrate Krishna's auspicious birthday. Krishna sat upon a celestial golden throne, and all the Vrajagopis came to worship him. The loud pounding of the Beri drums, dinta dinta sounds from the mridangas and dundubis, and from madalas, and the skillful beats on the dolaks announced the auspicious festival of Krishna's birthday. The joyous vibration of the occasion was enhanced by the excited voices, jingling ankle bells of the elderly gopis as they greeted the various guests. The learned Brahmanas bathed Krishna with thousands of streams of pure water and poured from crystal pitchers while purifying the environment with mercifully and enunciated mantras. This added waves of attraction to Krishna's already gorgeous body. They dried Krishna with a fine linen cloth, dressed him in a yellow silk dhoti and chadar, decorated from his glittering gems, and anointed his forehead with tilaka made of gorochana. After fixing his jeweled bracelets and armbands, they had some durva grass around his wrist and turmeric soaked thread. Varhapitam Nadavarapu Karnayo Karnikaram Bibradvasa Kanakabisam Vaijanti Chamalam Randran Veno Radra Sudaya Purayan Gopavandai Sri Vandaranyam Sopadramam Pravishad Gita Kirti. O Lord Krishna is always described as wearing a peacock feather and having a yellow dhoti with on the uh, blue Karnikara flowers and ears, is walking in the Srimdam Dham with his dust, with his soft lotus feet. Lord is glorified in that. Or in another place, we see that Lord Brahma is glorifying. Now vidyate upasetaditam ambaraya gunjavatam saparipichala satmukaya vanyasraje kavala vetra vishala venu mrudupade pasupam gajaya. He always wants to take the calves and cows for the cow pasture. That is his most enchanting pastime. He loves because as he's taking the cows and calves, then he's playing with his cowherd boys, he's playing, and at the same time, he's performing his pastimes on Giriraj Govardhan. So all the living entities are awestruck by seeing him and when he's playing flute. Kasturi tilake lalad apalake vakshasthale kaustubam. नासाग्रे नवमौक्तिकं करतले वेणुं करे च कङ्कणम् कण्ठे च मुक्तावली गोपस्त्री परिवेष्टितो विजयते Gopala is always glorified in so many different ways. Oh Lord Krishna, as this beautiful tilak, everybody is attracted. All the cowherd boys, Gopal Chudamani. Let's read further. We'll see how much all the citizens of Vrindavan are, want to see this beautiful boy, beautiful blackish blue boy. Following the local customs of such blissful festivals, the merciful Yashoda blessed Krishna by showering flowers upon his head. The elderly gopis sang traditional Vrajabhasha songs and waved lamps respectfully before the Lord. He who is kind to his friends and the object of the gopis' love sat quietly on his asana, accepting arati. Then, with great enthusiasm, the Vrajavasis joyfully offered gifts to Krishna and gave him a variety of creamy milk sweets. To properly complete the festival, Yashoda had her servants invite the general public. Yashoda offered palatable food to the wives of the village leaders, the married women, and the young girls of Vrindavana. Nanda Maharaj invited the cowherd men such as Sunanda, Upananda, and their wives to take the sumptuous food cooked by Rohini, Lord Balram's mother, the crest jewel among women. When the court men arrived, Yashoda honored their youngest sons by worshipping them and offering pearl necklaces. Mm. So, though pained by separation from their husband because they had no to accompany their mothers-in-law to the festival, the newly married gopis put on ornate and elegant ankle-length dresses. The tender faces of these newly weds glowed splendidly under the fine fabric of their veils. Feeling intensely attracted to Krishna, the gopis disclosed their loving sentiment by offering him their sidelong glances in charity. Their bangles fell silent as they embraced Krishna with their eyes. They felt as if they were beholding a bouquet of beautiful flowers No one noticed the auspicious meeting of Krishna and the gopis. Though they had seen Krishna before, the young unmarried gopis like Danya Saki just stood with their mothers and gazed timidly upon him as if it was the first time. While bathing in the lake of Krishna's exquisite beauty, the unmarried gopis expressed their desire to be his wives by offering him mental flowers scented with camphor. They became shy. However, when Krishna accepted their proposal with a favorable glance, no one could detect the infinite bliss the gopis now relished within their hearts. At that time, Krishna's pet parrot left his side and landed on the lotus feet of a gopi. You can understand who this gopi is. Whose heart throbbed with love, hoping to develop a relationship with Krishna. That excited gopi respectfully welcomed the parrot. Understanding the hint of the parrot, Krishna cast the fresh lotus garland or his glance toward Radha, the daughter of Rishabhanu. Krishna's glance seemed to say, "Oh parrot, I saw this gopi Radha looking at me from the watchtower as I took the cows to the forest. No one else saw this secret exchange of sweet love. Understanding that Radha's body had become tender, Purvara, Krishna looked upon her with great compassion. Then Yashoda, shining with all auspicious qualities, and smiled gently and took lotus-faced Radha and other gopis to another room to feed them. After worshipping his best cows with scents and garlands, Vrajraj Nanda Maharaj escorted his guests to a wide jeweled veranda and sat them down on wooden seats. Then he bathed their feet, performed Achmana, and offered Arghya. Nanda arranged for Rohini and the wives of Sunanda and Upananda to respectfully serve them first class food and drink on gold plates. At the conclusion of the meal, Nanda personally gave them betel nut, cardamom, scents, garlands, and ornaments. After the elderly man, children, and babies had eaten the feast, the married women and girls sat down in two rows to eat. Radhika and others received respect according to their position. Yashoda swam in an ocean of happiness as she personally served the gopis in a voice that sounded as sweet as a pattering raindrops of nectar. Yashoda spoke to each guest, "Please do not feel shy, just eat to your heart's content." Yashoda affectionately served everyone and then honored them with offerings of betel nuts, garlands, ointments, sindura, and gold embroidered cloth. Finally, Yashoda, the crest jewel of good fortune, embraced each of the gopis before sending them home. Smiling broadly, Yashoda distributed the remnants of the feast to the sinless residents of the village. Nanda Maharaj presented gifts to the dancers and musicians while Yashoda blessed them with her upraised palm. Upon concluding the festival, Yashoda thought holding such a festival every day would surely fulfill all her desires. For a moment, she felt a touch of sadness, fearing that she may not have fully satisfied all the guests. This is a one should serve all others. Nanda and Yashoda were serving everybody else pretty much. Uh, Now, we'll discuss the truth about the transcendental birthplace of Bhagavan and the appearance of Lord Sri Krishna. Once upon a time, Bhumi, the predominating deity of the earth, felt overburdened by different demons posing as members of the royal order. Feeling aggrieved upon seeing her miserable condition, the lotus born Brahma appealed to Kshirodaka Sai Vishnu, the maintainer of the universe, saying, "Please deliver Goddess Bhumi, who is feeling greatly distressed by these demoniac kings. Only you can remove this terrible influence from the earth." This is the external reason. As Bhumi Devi praying. So now the two internal reasons discussed. One is for to release the Ras Leela, and another one is to release the as a cohorting pastime. The time for appearance of the Lord coincided with two internal desires of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. First, the Lord desired to descend on earth to increase the fortune of Nanda and Yashoda. This is the first reason. And also, at that time, Krishna wanted to release the sweet mellow of Sringar Ras, Paramore love, Paramke Ras, while enacting his worldly pastimes. For these two reasons, the Lord appeared within this material creation and Bhuloka, his planet, along with his parents, friends, and other eternal associates. Lord is not forced to appear, but appearing by his own will, sweet will. Ajopisam Avyatma Bhutanam Visvaropisam. Prakritim from Aditya Sambhavami Atmamaya. By his own sweet will is appearing along with his associate, Radharani and uh, Nanda and Yashoda, his parents and all their associates, along with Yamuna, all of them appeared. Another distinction of Lord Krishna's earthly pastime is that when the eternally liberated gopis such as Srimati Radharani, Chandravadi, and others appeared, the Shrutis personified also appeared in the homes of other gopis because they had previously cultivated the desire to serve Sri Krishna as Braja gopis. The Dandakaranya sages, upon seeing the Swakiya Bhav, the sweet conjugal relationship of Lord Ramachandra and Sita Devi, desired to have the same relation with their Lord Madan Gopala. Upon attaining perfection in their sadhana, they achieved the fortunate position of gopis as well. As a result, Balarama appeared in the home of Rajaraj Nanda before uh, hold on, position of appearing as gopis and Vrindavan. Yogamaya, Lord Krishna's pastime potency, who possesses unlimited abilities, appeared invisibly in Gokula to arrange this. So before Lord Krishna appeared, Balaram appeared, and then Yogamaya also appeared, who gave a voice to Kamsa that you are going to die by this eighth child. So and perform and other difficult tasks on behalf of the Lord. Also, she transferred the Lord Balaram from Devaki's home to Rohini. Sri Nanda and Yashoda and other appeared in Brahatmana, Mahavana before the Lord. The Gopas, Gopis, and others eternally liberated associates appeared after the Lord. The Lord Krishna born to Devaki and Vasudev at the same time, also Nanda and Yashoda, both. This is more, uh, yeah. And then when on Vasudev brought Lord Krishna in a baby form through the Yamuna, crossing over the Yamuna and bringing it to Nandagaon, then that Krishna merged into the your Sundar Krishna, Vajendra Nanda Krishna merged. He couldn't see. So he was on the back, and then he saw only the girl, baby girl, the Yogamaya. And then later on, the Acharyas explained that this baby merged into the Leela Purushottam, Krishna, Sundar Krishna especially. So that's why here it is also explained as Nanda and Yashoda, where Lord Krishna appeared. Learning of Krishna's imminent appearance, the earth personified, feeling like a wife happily greeting her husband after long separation, immersed in unlimited joy. At the time of Krishna's birth, the general mass of people tasted the inner bliss that the devotees forever relished. Auspicious signs abounded everywhere, as Vishnu's conchal Panchajanya opens in a clockwise fashion. Similarly, auspicious sacrificial fires glowed in all directions. Pure, gentle breezes brought a refreshing coolness like devotees who satisfy and sanctify everyone with their calm, sweet, and affectionate behavior. The whole atmosphere became as completely purified as the heart of a devotee. The devotees once again found peace and prosperity in worshipping the lotus feet of Lord Hari. Fruits filled the jubilant trees, but the envious demons exhibited various inauspicious signs of degradation, such as rapidly aging bodies and symptoms of imminent death. The desired vines of celestial denizens seemed to be hanging in the air as if eager to produce fruits. At that time, all the directions became felt as pure and joyful as the mind of a devotee who has received the mercy of Lord Hari. Just as jams, mantras, or medicines can uh, can remove a poisonous disease from the body of a man, the advent of the Lord relieves the world from the contamination of the material existence and the sinful effect of the demons. The happiness gradually replaced the distress in everyone's heart. The bodies of all creatures manifested extraordinary beauty and youthful vitality. Men felt extremely joyful and displayed virtuous qualities. Throughout the world, people behaved cordially and interacted amicably. Happiness twinkled in everyone's eye. At the end of Dwapara Yuga, which completely destroys faults and doubts, the auspicious, favorable, obstacle-free time appeared on the eighth day of the waning moon on Bhadra month, just at that sweet moment the Rohini Nakshatra, along with the good qualities of the moon and an auspicious conjunction of stars called Ayushman, appeared in the sky to give shelter to gentle persons. As the living entity comes out from the womb of his mother and the moon appears on the lap of the eastern direction, Yogeshwara Sri Krishna, the personification of complete bliss, appeared amidst great festivities. As the moon appears in the lap of eastern direction, She is like a beautiful bride. Krishna manifested the wonderful pastime of his appearance out of his love and compassion for the conditioned souls. Due to austerities performed in previous life, Vasudeva and Devaki received an opportunity to momentarily release parental affection for Lord Sri Krishna when he appeared before them in his form as Vasudeva. This is Vasudeva Krishna with four hands. Thereafter, in fear of Kamsa, Vasudeva brought Vasudeva Krishna to Gokula. There, the Supreme Lord appeared as Govinda before Nanda and Yashoda, his eternal parents, who have been smothering him with sweetest norm of parental love since time immemorial. The four symbols of Vishnu, Shankar, Chakra, Gada, Padma, adorned his hands and feet. The flute, flower garland, Kaustubha, Mani, although present within him, had not yet manifested. In fear of cruel Kamsa, Vasudeva decided to transfer all his wives except Devaki to Gokula. He sent Rohini to the house of Rajraj, Nanda, by the sweet will of the Lord, because Vasudeva has 16 wives. So mainly Devaki and Rohini is described generally in most of the places. By the sweet will of the Lord, Yogamaya arranged for the seventh child of Devaki, Balaram, to enter into the womb of Rohini. As a result, Balarama appeared in the home of Rajaraj Nanda before the birth of Krishna. Lord Hari, whose bliss personified, appeared in the home of Nanda Maharaj, the king of Vrindavana, for the three reasons: to engage the self-satisfied sages in devotion service, to please the devotees, second, to please the devotees by performing sweet transcendental pastime, and third, to relieve the earth's burden caused by the demons. This is Paritrana Sadhuna, Vinasaya Tudushkam, Dharma Samsthapanartha. But the first one is the more prominent to give relish to the pastimes for his devotees, to please his devotees. At the time of his majestic birth, Krishna employed his inconceivable prowess to appear in a body of eternity, bliss, and knowledge. Everyone in the maternity room swelled with joy upon seeing the Lord's exquisite transcendental form that looked like a creeper of a beauty. Mother Yashoda resembled a lake of spiritual ecstasy in which a brilliant blue lotus of personified bliss had appeared. Neither the wind nor the bees released the fragrance of that blue lotus. That unborn lotus was never touched by the waves or the modes of nature. Even Lord Brahma could not see it. What to speak of ordinary man? After Yashoda and her family members fell asleep in the maternity room, Hari cried beautifully like a newborn baby. His crying sounded like the Mahavakya, Omkara, announcing the auspicious arrival of his pastimes. Omkara is a transcendental sound vibration that had previously emanated from the mouth of Lord Brahma. When the ladies of Vrindavana heard the sweet sound of Krishna's crying, they woke up and ran to see the Lord. With the mellow of their matchless, overflowing affection, they anointed his body. The natural fragrance of Krishna's body smelled like a musk. After the ladies bathed Krishna in sweet ambrosia, he looked cleansed and beautiful. Then they smeared his body with fragrant sandalwood pulp. The presiding deity of the house sent a champaka flower resembling the flame of lamp into the maternity room. We also have luckily here champa flower room to worship that ornament of the three worlds. With the strength of his little arms, delicate as the tender leaves of the tree, Krishna made all the lamps in the maternity room look like a garland of lotus flower buds. The ladies of Vrindavana saw baby Krishna like a blossoming flower made of the best of the blue sapphires. As we read earlier, one of the words, blue sapphires, or like a newly unfurled leaf of tamal tree. Lord Krishna is always, Gopis always, as soon as they see tamal tree, they see Krishna. They remember Krishna immediately. Blackish blue color of the tree, it resembles. So we have tamal tree in the courtyard of Krishna Balaram temple in ISKCON. So Krishna looked like the fresh rain cloud decorated with the musk tilaka of the goddess of fortune of the three worlds. The ointment of the greatest auspiciousness lined his eyes. His presence filled the maternity room with good fortune. Although a mere baby, Krishna had a head full of curly hair to hide the unique signs on his hands, gourd, fish, conch, etc. The Lord folded his delicate petal-like fingers into his lotus palm. At that time, Krishna laid on his back with his eyes closed. Mother Yashoda awoke amidst the joyous chattering of the elderly gopis leaning over the bed. She admired her gorgeous son. But upon noticing her own reflection on Krishna's body, she imagined it another woman. Thinking that a witch had assumed her form to kidnap Krishna, Yashoda became bewildered and yelled, "Get out of here, you go away." Spontaneously, she cried out to Narsingadev to protect her precious son. There is Narsingadev temple there in Nandagaon. So, beholding Krishna's tender face, Yashoda showered tears of affection that looked like an offering of a pearl necklace. Yashoda saw Krishna's body as mound of dark blue musk, softer than the butter, churned from the milk ocean, overflowing with uh, overflowing with the nectar. His charming body appeared like the foam of milk, but being dark blue in color, it seemed the foam was full of musk juice. Admiring supremely delicate form of her son, Yashoda worried about his safety and feared the touch of her body might hurt his tender body. As she leaned over the bed, Yashoda bathed Krishna with the milk dripping her breast. The elderly gopis instructed Yashoda how to caress the baby in her lap and affectionately push the nipple of the breast into Krishna's mouth and to feed him. Due to Yashoda's intense love, personified bliss flowed from her breast as steady streams of milk. And the milk sometimes spilled out of Krishna's bimba fruit red lips onto his cheeks. Mother Yashoda would wipe his face with the edge of her cloth. After feeding her son, Yashoda gazed affectionately at him in a wonder. She saw her child's body as made of dazzling blue sapphires. His mouth resembled a red bimba fruit, and his hands and feet looked like exquisite rubies. Krishna's nails shone like precious gems. In this way, Yashoda thought her child was completely made of jewels. Then she perceived that his naturally reddish lip looked like a banduka flowers. His hands and feet resembled java flowers. His nail looked like a mallika flowers. Yashoda then thought Krishna's whole body seems to be made of blue lotus flowers. He does not appear to be mine. After thus deliberating within herself, Yashoda became stunned in amazement. The beautiful soft curly hairs on the right side of Krishna's chest resembled the tender stems of a lotus. Seeing the mark of Srivats on his chest, Yashoda thought it was breast milk that had previously spilled out of his mouth. She tried unsuccessfully to remove those milk stains within the edge of her claws. Struck with wonder, Yashoda thought this must be the sign of a great personality. Observing the sign of a Lakshmi, a small golden lion on the left side of Krishna, Yashoda thought a small yellow bird had made a nest amidst the leaves of the tamal tree. Could this be a streak of lightning resting on a rain cloud, or could it be a golden streak marking a black gold testing stone? Krishna's delicate leaf-like hands and feet, glowing pink like the rising sun, looked like clusters of lotus flowers floating in the Yamuna. Sometimes Yashoda saw the curly, dark blue locks of baby Krishna as a swarm of bumblebees surrounding his face. Intoxicated from drinking too much honey nectar, the bees just hovered in the sky. His thick, beautiful blue hair appeared like the dark night. The two lotus eyes of Krishna looked like a pair of blue lotus buds. His cheeks resembled two huge bubbles floating in a lake of liquefied blue sapphires. Krishna's attractive ears looked like a pair of fresh, unfurled leaves growing on the blue creeper. The tip of Krishna's dark nose appeared like a sprout of a tree, and his nostrils looked like bubbles in the Yamuna river. The daughter of sun god, his lips resembled a pair of red java flower buds. Krishna's chin rivaled a pair of ripe red jumbo fruits. Jumbo fruits. This is like mm, that black to violet color, fruits. Sometimes we have here. Seeing extraordinary beauty of her son fulfilled the purpose of her eyes and submerged Yashoda in an ocean of bliss. The elderly Brajavasi lady's address was Rizraj Nanda. Oh, most fortunate one, you fathered a son. Previously, Nanda Maharaj had felt deeply aggrieved over his long standing inability to obtain a son because he had almost 10 or 12 children. All, as soon as they were born, they died. So they're expecting for a quite long time. So that's why it is mentioned here. His heart was like a small lake that had completely dried up during a long hot summer. But when Nanda Maharaj heard of his son's birth, he felt as if the dry lake of his heart had been blessed with a sudden downpour of nectar. The gentle sound of Krishna's voice removed all his grief and lamentation. Now he bathed in the brain of bliss, swam in the ocean of nectar, and felt embraced by the joyful stream of celestial Ganga. So that's what we're saying. The spiritual master of Lord Krishna's mercy is like a rain cloud. Samsara Rava Navani Loka Pranaya Karana Gana Ganatam. Gana Gana. It's like rain clouds. That's why when we put that water offered to the Lord, we sprinkle it as though like it is coming from the rain, from the sky. water is dropping. That's how we put it, not like a regular water, because that is the mercy of Lord Krishna. Eager to see his son, Nanda's body thrilled with astonishment and waves of ecstasy as he stood outside the maternity room. Because he had accumulated heaps of pious activities, it appears that the king of Vrindavana was now shaking hands with the personification of pious deeds. Anxiously standing in the background, Yogamaya induced Nanda Maharaj to enter the maternity room. He rushed to see his son, the personified seed of condensed bliss. It seems that all auspiciousness of the three worlds now reside within Krishna, the original cause of everything. Sarvakaran Karana. Nanda saw his son as perfectly charming person. The kajal around Krishna's eyes looked like lines on a black creeper of a beauty. As the very embodiment of Nanda's good fortune, Sri Krishna bloomed like a beautiful flower in a garden of desire trees. Chintamani prakara satmaja kalparuksha laksha vruteshu surabhir avipalayantam Lakshmi sahasra sadasambhrama sevyavanam Govindamadi purusham tamaham bhajami. The Aparajita flower is compared to the body of a queen of Vrindavana. Her son is like a representative of the Upanishad that are compared to the fruit of desire creepers. By seeing his glorious son, Nanda felt that he had attained happiness, perfection, fulfillment of all his desires. Meeting that embodiment of bliss overwhelmed Nanda with immeasurable satisfaction. He stood motionless, stunned, his hair stood erect. Tears flowed from his eyes. He appeared like a person carved in a stone or a figure drawn in a painting. For some time, Nanda Maharaj remained in the semi conscious state like a sleeping man about to awaken. Upananda, Sunanda, and other relatives felt extremely joyful while observing the best of the Brahmanas perform the rites of the purification for Krishna's birth to ensure his son's welfare. Nanda Maharaj donated newborn calves to each and every Brahmana, thus turning their homes into abodes of Surabhi cows. These cows had gold and silver plated horns and hooves, and jeweled necklaces adorning their necks. In addition, Rajapati Nanda Maharaj filled the courtyards of their homes with hills of gold, jewels, and sesame seeds. While Nanda distributed charity, the Kamadhenus, the touchstone, the desire tree lost their power to produce valuable items. Even the jewel producing oceans lost their stock of jewels. Goddess of fortune, the abode of lotuses, had but one lotus in her hand. The auspicious nose of Krishna's wonderful appearance spread in all directions by word and mouth. Word of mouth, delight danced in the hearts of Nanda, his brothers Upananda and Sunanda, and all other Gopas. The Gopas brought many varieties of delicious dairy products such as milk, yogurt, butter, wet cheese, and hot cheese in jewel studded pots. The pots were tied to the ends of the bamboo poles with the jute straps and carried on their shoulders. This is the common nowadays. I don't know, it's hard to see in villages, but this is the common. We used to get all the yogurt, milk, everything. People used to sell like this, bring from village and used to sell this. But nowadays, hardly you can see. Everything is a packaged food, not nothing fresh. Bedecked with many precious jeweled ornaments, the gopis appeared very handsome. They were dressed in a beautiful yellow cloth, defeating the brilliance of lightning, and held staffs topped with gold and jewels on their lotus hands. As the great ocean spreads its waves in all directions, the birth of Krishna filled the Brajavasis with unbounded bliss. The gopis and gopas enjoyed a grand festival by happily eating and by splashing each other's bodies with a mixture of yogurt, butter, milk, and condensed milk. So tasty. Though nowadays the milk is not tasty, the yogurt nothing. Everything is so artificial. So the way they feed the grass, the way everything is so artificial nowadays. The society girls visiting Nanda Maharaj's house experienced more happiness than they had ever felt since their birth. Their minds saturated with joy and satisfaction. Hearing the delightful description of Krishna's birth carried away the chariots of their minds and made them abandon all other duties. They became possessed with the desire to see Krishna. Sparkling rubies hung from necklaces adorning the society girls. Their diamond-studded armlets shone more beautifully than drops of crystal clear water. Their jewel-inlaid golden bangles boasted unparalleled elegance. For this unique festival, they took out some highly ornamental waist belts from their jeweled boxes and tied them around their hips. The jingling of waist belts resting their bodies enhanced the beauty of these societies. They attracted the minds of everyone with their golden ankles, loosened hair braids, and graceful gait. So, to worship Krishna, they brought golden trays full of auspicious articles such as fruits, flowers, yogurt, durvagas, uncooked rice, jewel bedecked lamps. They covered the offering plate with a splendid yellow silk cloth and held them in their soft lotus hand. Their jeweled ankle bells vibrated presently as they filled. Beholding the astounding beauty of the delicate baby, the society girls considered the purpose of their eyes fulfilled. They perceived Krishna's perfect birth to be like the appearance of the leaves of an important herbal medicine. Krishna resembled a blue lotus floating in the lake of his parental affection. After bestowing their blessings for Krishna's prosperity, they worshipped Krishna with fresh flowers and a constant shower of loving glances. With great enthusiasm, the society girls glorified Rajeshwari Yashoda since she had attained the essence of all good fortune by having Krishna as her son. Leaving the maternity room, the society girls entered the assembly hall of Nanda Maharaj's palace. Their faces looked exceedingly beautiful as they sung melodious songs which resembled soft, sweet humming of bees. Moving amidst a cluster of lotus flowers, all the guests bathed in nectar shower produced by these soothing sounds. Overwhelmed with love, they filled their lotus palms with fragrant oil, turmeric paste, and fresh butter and started smearing each other's faces and bodies. This is naturally they used to do, not like now, the colors, artificial colors. They looked very attractive with their smiling faces and glittering white teeth. Their red leaves seemed more beautiful than the red banduka flowers. Their incredible display of elegance smashed the pride of the goddess of fortune of the three worlds. Carried away with joy over Krishna's birth, they fearlessly threw cheese balls, butter, yogurt at each other. One could mistake the white balls of cheese for hailstones, solidified moonlight, or white mud from the floor of the milk ocean. Then they showered each other with buttermilk, aromatic oils, and water mixed with turmeric. Cymbals, damaru drums, berries, and big drums vibrate auspicious sounds in specific melodies. The celestial concert of precise poetic meters, proper rhythms, and metrical composure suddenly manifested there. The musical ensemble inspired the society girls to sing and dance in mirth and merriment. Though not good singers by the will of the Lord, they sang with great virtuoso. Their wonderful songs filled Nanda Maharaj's heart with joy. The combined vibrations of the Brahmanas chanting Vedic hymns, recitation of Puranic love, and the Panagiri's prayers transformed the ethers into Shabda Brahman. The joy of Krishna's birth celebration taxed the drains of Nanda's capital city as they swelled to the brim with milk, yogurt, other auspicious liquids. Soon rivers of this nectar flooded the streets of the town and permeated the entire atmosphere with a sweet fragrance. Disguising themselves as birds, the demigod descended to Vrajapura to happily drink the flood of nectar. The Vrajavasis decorated their cows with gold and jeweled ornaments. Then, in great excitement, they smeared them with oil, fresh butter, turmeric paste, beholding Krishna in their hearts. These fortune cows looked like the essence of the earth's auspiciousness. The whole world resounded with their jubilant bellowing, absorbed in ecstasy of Krishna's birth. They forgot about eating and drinking. The festival drowned the gopis in an ocean of joy after offering oil, vermilion, garlands, utensils in charity to all the assembled gopis. Rohini, the wife of Vasudeva, asked them to bless Krishna. Upon completion of the sacrifice, Upananda and other relatives felt constant happiness while taking their baths. Keeping the king of Vrindavana in the front, Nanda's relatives offered opulent cloth, jeweled ornaments, tambula, garlands, and sandalwood pulp to the guests. Then they humbly requested all in attendance to bless that wonderfully auspicious boy who had just appeared in Vrindavana. This way we can understand the most beautiful, enchanting, sweet, attractive form of the Lord, Supreme Lord Sri Krishna. So, thank you very much.